Well, it is 1 o'clock by my watch. We are just going to get started here. Um, a little bit of just notes on me. My name is Dave Zupkovich. For many of you who are tuning in, we may have spoken before on projects and whatnot, but I am the application and web services manager here at CliniSync. Part of my job is making sure that any new features that are a part of our application, so in this case, our community health record, are communicated effectively out to all of our client base. So that's what we're doing today. Obviously, you've seen our emails come through the last few weeks about two-factor authentication being added to the community health record. Now, this is something that is being added obviously for security purposes and to just make sure that the folks who are logging into the community health record are supposed to be there. So joined with me today, I have Victoria Redden, who is our Director of Client Experience, and Scott Mash, who is helping moderate. So we have three CliniSync members here. What I'm going to do is go through a demo of the two-factor authentication feature in the community health record. We're going to be using our test environment. I will be demoing how it looks or how going in through our the mobile application. We'll then do going in with the desktop extension, and then open it up to some questions as well. So I appreciate everyone for hopping on today. So let me go ahead and just get started here. So as you may have seen from our demo video on 2FA, we are using the Google Authenticator application. So that means that our two-factor authentication system is based on the Google Authenticator application. Now, Google Authenticator comes in two forms. You can either utilize a mobile application, or you can use a desktop extension of Google Authenticator if you utilize Google Chrome. So for the sake of this demo, I'm just using Google Chrome. Now what I'm going to do is log in with a test user that I have, and this first demo that we're going to be going through today is going to demo how this works in the mobile application. So obviously you're not able to see my mobile device screen, but you will see a QR code that shows up that I will scan with Google Authenticator, which is installed on my phone. So I have my username and my password plugged in. I am going to click login. Now, when I click login, what shows up is this QR code. So this means that every 12 hours, the way it's set up now, you will have to enter in a code that shows up in your Google Authenticator app once we go live with two-factor authentication. So the first step of what this looks like, so this is the first time that I'm using 2FA. So once you do go live, this is what you will see. The first step, if you are using the mobile device, is to take your Google Authenticator app, and what you're going to do is scan this QR code. So I am scanning this QR code on my phone right now. Now, what just happened is a 6-digit code appeared on my Google Authenticator app. I didn't have to do anything special. I just downloaded Google Authenticator, opened up the scan QR code feature, which is available, and this 6-digit code popped up. So I'm going to go ahead and enter this now. There's the 6 digits that I received. All right, and what had happened now is I have to accept our EULA. Now you won't have to do this for all the folks who already have accepted this back in the day. If you already have an active CHR account, you don't need to worry about this step, but just because I'm using a new test account here, I have to accept. So here we go with the security questions. Some of you may remember doing this. And there we go. And now I am logged in. So if I were to go to, let's say, another screen, maybe I want to pop back up into another document, I won't have to re-authenticate for another 12 hours. That's our standard setup. So like I said, you only have to do this once every 12 hours. Usually, we just wanted to make it so you just have to do the 2FA once every day. So if I were to sign out now and then sign back in, I can, this is what it would look like on the next day. So here's two-factor authentication. Now remember, all I would need to do is open up my Google Authenticator app. I don't have to scan anything again because I already scanned that QR code the first time. So there we go. So I have that, now I'm ready to go. So that is the first scenario in 2FA that you'll come into contact with if you choose to do 2FA through your mobile device. So like I said, what we just demoed was strictly for mobile device. Now let's say you don't want to download the Google Authenticator app, or you don't want to you're unable to download that on your phone, or you can't have your phone with you at work. We have another option. That is if you utilize Google Chrome, we have an extension which is available. Well, Google has an extension which is available. So there's Authenticator. You would just come up here and you would see this if you download the app, and you can just type in Google Authenticator in Chrome and add it directly to your browser. It's a pretty standard thing. You don't have to necessarily download it or anything. You just add the extension to your browser. So in this scenario here, let me add a new user. I'll log in. So here we go. So here is here's a new user that I just added. So in this scenario, let's say that I am opting to use the Google extension. So if I were to click on this little puzzle piece up here and see where it says Authenticator, I can just click Authenticator. I would click a new scanner here. So you're seeing this is what the browser is telling me to do, is basically highlight the QR code that's there. So I can do this. And there you go. So it says 2FA demo test 2 has been added. So this is now added to my Google Authenticator. And if I were to open up Authenticator up here, you will see that I have that 6-digit code that shows up, and it'll regenerate every 30 seconds. So I just clicked on it and it copied it, and there I can just do paste and log in that way. And again, I'm using a brand new user here, so I just have to go through and accept the EULA. But it's the same process there. You would just if you're using a new user, you would fill out these questions. But like I said, if you've already done all this, you don't have to go about doing this. This is just because I'm using brand new test users here. So we'll resimulate that just to give another overview of that. Plug in my user here. And here again, I can just click up. So I would like do this every day, right? Once a day if I wanted to sign in there. And then I'm in the CHR, like many of you already would see. So, and it's the same thing. We're not changing anything to the application. It's just that added step in the sign-on process. So that is scenario number 2. Now, scenario number 3, let's say you can't use your phone, or you don't have Google Chrome, or you don't want to use Google Authenticator. There are third-party apps that are available to be used as well. One of them that we've utilized in the past is called Authy. So Authy is just an application. It's just a 2-factor authentication app which you can download to your mobile device, or you can download directly to your desktop. Once you download it, it looks like this. So you just need to add the account that you're looking to do a two-factor for. So let's do that. Now for Authy, which is what I'm using for this scenario here, I need to enter a code given by the website. So here's a manual setup code. So that means if you can't scan a QR, this is the equivalent of that in just text. So if I'm using a third party that isn't a Google related device like Authy, I can add this account. I can assign a color to it. Assign the, it'll tell you how many token lengths it is. So how many digits it is. In this case, it's 6. And then you can save it. So this is the account that I've added. Oop. It just kind of froze on me there. Oh, need to name that. So there we go. So here's the code that Authy gave me. So this is helpful. I can just enter this in. Oh, I might have done it too late. Yeah, like I said, it'll reset, but I can just enter this in now, and it will allow me to jump in there directly. And just like we did with the other two scenarios, we would be logging into the CHR again. So that is the scenario in which we can use a third party like Authy. You don't have to use Authy. Microsoft Authenticator works as well. This is just one that we've used in the past and one that our developer likes. So this is kind of why we're shedding some light on Authy. But again, very simple to use. You can color code the different authenticator apps that you might assign it to. And what's great about Authy or Google Authenticator is any other sites that you are already using 2FA for, you can just use them all directly in the same thing. So you'll see in my Google Authenticator, I have 2 accounts that are already assigned to my Authenticator account. So in my user that I'm using this desktop extension on, all of my available 2FA accounts would show up here, and you can pin one that is maybe more important than the other, or the one that you're utilizing more consistently. So that's just a little bit about that. But yeah, those are the 3 scenarios. So like I said, just to recap, the mobile device one, which you weren't able to see me scan it on my phone camera, but that was a scenario number 1 that gave us the login information there. Scenario number 2 was using the Google Authenticator plugin, which we just downloaded from the Google Store. And then scenario number 3 was utilizing Authy, in the place as a third-party 2FA app. But like I said, that is not the only one. You can utilize generally any other 2FA app that's on the market right now will be able to support these tokens. So yeah, so that is pretty much our presentation for today. Now, I know that you have, like I said, received the emails that we've sent out. We do have a 2FA video, which kind of goes through this process a little bit more and explains why we've done that, why we've implemented 2FA. You can download that through YouTube, and we've sent a link out to that as well. And then in our updated CHR user guide, we have a step-by-step process and how to go about utilizing this as well for Google Authenticator. But that is it. That is it for today's demonstration. Like I said, pretty simple stuff. All of the hospital and health system clients are going live with 2FA the week of January 10th. So if you've missed that date, no worries. We did send out just an email letting you know that the week of the 10th is when we're going to be transitioning those accounts to 2FA. We will be hosting another demo like this in January. So if you have some coworkers or other users who missed today's presentation, no worries. We will definitely be going through this again. So with that, I figured Victoria or Scott, I'm not sure if we have any questions that are up here. I can't see anything on my screen question-wise, but I'm not sure what we have, who submitted what.
Sure.
Yeah, we do have one question, and it's, is user activity in the CHR audited, and does two-factor authentication play a role when audited?
Dave, would you like me to go ahead and jump in on that one?
That'd be great, Victoria. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, so this is Victoria, CliniSync. Activity in the CHR is audited. The two-factor authentication doesn't change the way we audit, but we do audit in accordance with HIPAA for improper use of your users. So the two-factor authentication is actually going to be a benefit to you because it's providing a safeguard for your account to help prevent impersonation, where someone could impersonate your account for improper use, which would be caught in auditing. So that would really be the only way you would, the only difference with auditing and two-factor authentication is just that it helps protect your user.
Awesome. And Victoria, did you want to mention any of the other kind of like talking points that we had discussed previously just on 2FA or?
Sure. The only thing that I did want to mention here is a little bit about how CHR and Notify work together. I know some folks on here might just be using CHR and other folks might be using both, and they interact with each other. So Dave, could you go into a little bit of detail about if they'll have to use this process if they're accessing the community health record through Notify?
Yeah, sure. So for all of our users who are logging in primarily through Notify, so by that I mean they're getting a notification and they are then clicking on that button that says view CHR patient data. There will be no 2FA window that's standing in your way. So if you're going in through that process, you won't have to utilize 2FA at all. This is right now. This is just direct login into the community health record.
Perfect. And I'm not seeing any other questions just yet. Scott, are you seeing any others?
No, ma'am. No question.
All right. Dave, it
Great.
sounds like you were very thorough.
Well, like I said, everyone who's on, please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions along the way. We understand that this isn't always the easiest transition, but just you know, our job as an HIE is to make sure that all of the data that is being accessed is being done securely, and making sure that all of the patient data that we are providing access to is being treated responsibly. So that's really the core of this. Like I said, if you do have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Vic, or call our support line, and they'll route you to one of us. But that's really about it. So I would say, just as a preemptive step, if you are going to be utilizing Google, go ahead and download Google Authenticator either to your phone or install it on your browser. Now, if you have both accounts linked to the same authenticator, you actually can use both simultaneously. So you could use an account with your Google Authenticator as well as, or your mobile device as well as with your desktop. It's one scenario we didn't go over, but all you need to do is add it to both of them. So yeah, I would say preemptively go ahead and download those apps. If you are not using Google, check out Authy or Microsoft or any of the other 2FA apps that are out there. Like I said, they'll generally should be able to support this. It's just we can't necessarily give a cosign to any other one other than Google, since that's what our platform is based on at the moment. So yeah, well, I thank everyone for joining today. Now this training was recorded, so we will be sending a follow-up email containing the video to this, as well as the YouTube video that I was mentioning earlier. and the updated CHR user guide, which we also sent out previously in those other emails. You could also download those materials in the handout section here. So I've placed a PDF of the user guide under the handout section in this meeting. So if you click on handouts, you should see the user guide there. But if not for some reason, no worries. We will definitely be sending out a follow-up meeting or a follow-up email. I mean, but thank you all for joining, and we look forward to talking to you soon.